Happy New Year's, everyone. This is going to be the first video that I'm recording in 2023, and what a morose, kind of an old throwback topic. It's a little bit weird to be discussing this in the brand new year, the year of our Prophet Muhammad 2023, to drag up an Islamic radical. My stance on Islam is kind of softened over the past couple of years, mostly for the fact that they have weathered the storm of this LGBT mafia just wave of indoctrination just flooding across the rest of the religions, just more than willing to bend over and grab their ankles in order to accept. But Islam has stayed pretty strong on this stuff. Now, I understand, and I don't want to sound like a pansy by saying, well, it's not all of them, it's just some radicals that are out there. I'm not here to stand up for Islam in any form or fashion, okay? I'm just saying, I'll dap it up when it's due, but then I'll criticize it when it requires criticism. Now, this could just be one of these head cases that's out there swinging a fucking machete thinking that they can get their 72 virgins in heaven. Guess what, bro? That's nowhere in the Quran at all whatsoever. It's just a fucking folklore fairy tale that was made up by, I don't know, people just trying to cope with their bad life decisions. I really don't know, man, where any of that shit came from, but it's not in the fucking Quran, okay? It's a violent book, no doubt, but it also has, quite a few good tenets that are out there. Well, let's see how far this guy got. Machete attack near Times Square New Year's Eve celebration leaves 2 NYPD officers injured. FBI is investigating. Why are the feds involved in this one? If this happened in New Year... interesting. Let's see what we can get. Okay, a man attacked 3 NYPD police officers, as if their job wasn't shit enough in New York, okay? It's like they're not getting any help from any of the prosecutors that are down there. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, not prosecuting fuck all. Kathy Hochul, too busy trying to pretend to give a fuck about what's going on in Buffalo. Nobody gives a shit, man, and this guy's going out here trying to swing a knife on fucking cops. Man, if you wanted to make that job any less appealing, there you go. But he was down there with a machete. Oh, man, like I said, it's such a throwback to see a fucking knife crime. It's, I'll couple that with, I even forget the Idaho man, Koberger. There we go, that's his name. I just remember those, soulless eyes. But maybe the knife is it's gonna be making a renaissance, okay? Kind of like how fashion comes back in vogue if given enough time. The old knife attack is gonna be making a comeback. That, and how long are we gonna have to wait for the truck of peace? Man, that's been a minute. It's been a minute. We need a refresher out here. But anyways, yeah, this is sad and stuff, heaven forbid we want to make light of a morose subject. Yuck. New York Police Department Commissioner Keechant Sewell told reporters Sunday that the suspect, 19, tried to slash an officer with a machete in an unprovoked attack. The man then swung at 2 officers with the weapon. Sewell added, one of the officers discharged his firearm, striking the assailant in the shoulder. Just in the shoulder? And he was close enough to cut you up with a machete? What the fuck, man? Terrible aim. One officer received a skull. Holy fuck, swinging it at his head. Jesus. And a large cut. Another officer received a laceration on the head, so this guy was going right for the infidel skull. I know it hasn't made any reference in this article, but we got another one, and another one. We are working with our federal partners for this investigation, and it is ongoing. There were reports citing unnamed police sources that said the suspect was a radical Islamic extremist. Hit your knees and pray. The FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. What? Just because he's Islamic? You guys xenophobic as shit? Nah, man, it's legit. Alleged Islamic extremist in machete attack on NYPD cops asked family to repent to Allah in disturbing manifesto. Oh yeah, it gets good. 19-year-old alleged Islamic extremist suspected of attacking NYPD cops with a machete on New Year's Eve penned a disturbing manifesto. Ooh, I love a good manifesto whenever they're out there. Just see Prophet of 2022 Matthew Harris for proof of concept on that stuff. I want to see how fucking nuts this is. That urged his family to please repent to Allah and accept Islam. Please repent. Please. There's not enough recruitments. It is the largest religion on earth, but please. He was trying to be nice, and then he took out his aggression. And it's like, you got to fucking pray to Mecca 5 times a day, otherwise the police beatings are going to continue. Trevor Bickford, not exactly the name you would associate with an Islamic extremist. He was trying to pick out a new moniker. He just had to settle on his, fucking white middle-class name in a Maine resident. Now I know where the feds were involved. Well, that, and he was also on a watch list. Again, what the fuck's with these Fed watch lists not manifesting in any, crimes being averted? But, man, that's not exactly that charitable to say, okay? Because we don't know how many crimes are ultimately thwarted beforehand, but, seems to be a fairly fucking common through line that whenever one of these tragedies ends up happening, oh yeah, the feds were paying attention to him, so what'd you do about it? They're paying attention to him. Anywho, carried the handwritten... Oh, he had a handwritten note in his backpack. If you were trying to urge your family to convert to Islam, you should probably deliver that note to your family. I don't know why that would help you in Times Square on New Year's Eve, but to each their own, I guess. Carried the handwritten note in his backpack, along with a collection of religious material. Yes, his prayer rug and, all that stuff. And $200. $200 in New York City ain't gonna get you very far, my guy. While staying at the Bowery Mission in Manhattan. This guy, again, it's a 19-year-old kid who's exceedingly fucking confused. To my family, specifically my mother, get the rocks. I'm sorry for not having been a good enough son. Aw, man. I feel bad for this creep. I fear greatly that you will not repent to Allah, it said. And therefore I hold hope in my heart that a piece of you believes, so you may be taken out of the hellfire. It's not as fun as claiming that one day the penguins are going to be taller, and they used to be tall, so this is just kind of sad. To my brother Travis, of anyone I've known or who I've felt closest to faith, it's you. Oh, okay. He allegedly wrote, of anyone I've ever wanted to accept Islam with me, it's you. Please repent to Allah and accept Islam. I fear for you. Yeah, but you're trying to correlate your faith to attacking police officers in a state in which you don't claim residency, so I don't really know if you're the best pitchman for the religion. I'm just saying. My other brother, Devin. This guy just seemed like he lived a charmed existence. But I also don't hear father as well. That's another one of these through lines that I don't know if we're going to get any information on. But once again, single mothers are heroes, right? Anyways, but this is the Devon. There was a time when we were close, but that time has passed. Oh, Lord, the manifesto said, you have joined the ranks of the enemy, and I can give you no kind words. Return to Allah. I couldn't imagine being in that type of a situation with a sibling. I'm not going to out my sibling or anything like that. I do have one as well. Okay, to say that we're close would be that would be a bit of an over exaggeration, but at the same time we are definitely cordial. We definitely talk on a semi-consistent basis, but hey man, in my apparent death by suicide, handwritten manifesto, to say that there is no kind words left for you. I can understand somebody getting to that level, but it takes a considerable amount of hate in your heart that you have to work on yourself, okay? Trying to seek solace in religion or something like that. That's old fucking boomer talk, thinking that, oh, if you just accept Christ, everything will be forgiven. Now, you got to continue to work on yourself, dude. You can't just fucking abdicate any of that responsibility out there. And I know fucking tradcons and boomers are going to be in the fucking comment section if they get this far in the video. But, yeah, man, personal responsibility is a universal across race and religion. So, I don't fucking, nah, this stuff doesn't fly with me. Bickford of Wells, Maine. So Wells, Maine is where he's from, is believed to have been a radicalized Muslim in recent years following the overdose death of his father, Tom, who died in 2018 at the age of 41. Oh, okay. So his father died and shit hit the fan. Interesting. The teen's father played a very active role in the lives of his three sons. Okay, so he's 19. His dad died. I'm just trying to do the math here. 5 years ago. So he was at very formulaic ages. And if there was nobody to step into that role, I could understand him going off the deep end. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. It could often be found, coaching them at football and wrestling. The Portland Press Herald reported. How did things go so bad so quickly? But obviously this just happened, so we only have very limited information. But given the fact that Bickford's radical shift put him on the FBI radar, This kid didn't decide to just dabble, okay? He didn't pick up the Quran for some fucking light reading, okay? He was like, my father died. Okay, how to become a radical Muslim? Checking his search history, I guess. And sources said his name surfaced on the FBI Guardian watch list before he hopped an Amtrak train. I love the trains, man. Traveled to New York, arriving on December 29th, according to sources. So was he living with his family or anything like that? Because this is all kind of scattered when it comes to the reporting. Around 10 p.m. on Saturday, he allegedly attacked cops working the Times Square detail, including a rookie on his first assignment. A rookie on his first assignment down at New York, at Times Square on New Year's Eve. I know that the New York Police Department has been down bad, but holy. A young cop who was still assigned to the police academy suffered a gash on his head, and a Staten Island officer suffered blunt force trauma to the head. Both were taken to Bellevue Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Well, that's the silver lining to this stuff. Sure, there was an attack, and yes, it was gruesome, but non-life-threatening injuries, hopefully there's no lingering effects to this, okay? Bickford was shot in the shoulder, wounded during the attack, praise the law. He remained hospitalized Sunday, has not yet been charged. Sorry, what? Assault with a deadly weapon? Like, this dude's going down for 20 years. It should be a couple of different times, 3 times over. Attempted murder? Maybe. It's unclear how long Bickford has been staying at the Bowery Mission. Said he'd left the 29th. Like, come on now. But police sources said investigators found a sheath for a machete, a variety of other knives, and a collection of religious material. According to reports, Bickford once appeared to be a typical American teenager who played on a championship football team at Wells High School, won an art award for his school for his jewelry, and made the honor roll as a Frenchman. Oh yes, they have different types of Islamic extremists over there. We also share your pain, America. But this is an interesting story, not for the obvious reasons that, police were attacked with a machete, and it's like, I'm glad nobody was seriously hurt or anything like that. One got a cracked skull. It's like, that's pretty serious, but no life-threatening injuries. Okay, that's a good thing about this. I'm going to be interested to continue to follow this story, because I want to know how a kid goes from being on the honor roll, being on a championship football team, losing his father, and then ultimately losing his fucking mind and delving into the most radical sects of Islam. It's an interesting development, and one in which I think has a fairly interesting story, but as this is just a couple of hours old, we don't have a whole hell of a lot of information on it. But I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more follow-up videos, but I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this, because as society continues to degenerate, okay, and I know this is a nice happy video to start off 2023, obviously, but you're going to see a lot of people trying to seek solace in a bunch of different corners. Religion is always going to be up at the top. Different online communities is going to be right there as well. People are always going to be trying to seek meaning, especially when you have a senseless death of his father. It seems like just an overdose death after he was active in the lives of his 3 children. You don't know how the family ultimately disintegrated, and then up in Maine, and then you decide to go Muslim. There's not a lot of dots being connected here, but obviously the Fed has the dossier on him, and I'm sure they're going to be forthright with all that information. Yeah, sure, I won't hold my breath on that one. We'll have to wait for somebody to buy up the fucking Fed in order to release the FBI documents before we get any information on this stuff, right? Don't worry, they've had an open investigation into him since 2018 when his father died. Where have we heard all this shit before? But until we get more information, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.